Horrifying visuals coming in with news updates from Bangladesh. What's happening in our neighbor nation? An airbase has now been targeted and attacked. One person confirmed dead. A mob in Bangladesh tried to enter into the airbase, which is, remember, not of a party, not of opposition or ruling groups. This is about a country's safety and security. It's an airbase. A mob in Bangladesh has entered into this airbase. We are told that the forces had to open fire on some of the local protesters. These are personnel of the forces who had to open fire at the mob. Look at that. Some of them, it looks like, happened at a point-blank range. The casualty figures may rise. There is complete chaos and mayhem. And remember, airbase is usually where the entry and the movement is highly restricted. This is in Cox's Bazar, extremely popular area. I would, in fact, say it remains one of the historical heritage areas as well. But this is complete mayhem. Till now, there was mob violence on, so to say, against Awami League leaders and activists. Then came in targeting the Hindus, the ISKCON members. Then other random incidents of violence taking place. All of this while the government in Bangladesh says everything is fine. Nothing is happening. This is a revolution that has happened in the country. But entering into an airbase. And what is the reason right now when Sheikh Hasina is in exile, when, so to say, the agenda was cleared? Shivani Sharma is joining me. Shivani, this is not just about ruling or opposition. This is an airbase area. What are you hearing about what exactly happened?
Pooja, this incident took place at around 12 today when a mob tried to enter the Air Force base at Cox's Bazar area. And the Air Force had to take necessary action. There was firing on this mob. They tried to control them initially, but they were not stopping. Then firing was done, and one casualty has been reported so far. There are many who are injured. And the Air Force has also given out a response saying that it is taking all the measures that are required to control the mob and to secure the Air Force base. Because remember, this is an Air Force base, Pooja, not a normal place there. And we have also got some inputs that there is investigation onto why this whole incident took place, what made this violence erupt. The investigation goes on, but one casualty has been reported so far, and many are injured in this particular violence that has taken place today in Bangladesh.
So, remember, this has caught the forces also by surprise. From the reports that we are tracking that are coming in from Dhaka, Shivani, tell us this. So, there's a Bangladesh Air Force airbase there in Cox's Bazar, and these group of miscreants arrive. Any background that you're hearing right now? Because now this is about the armed forces, and ironically, the same armed forces that helped Sheikh Hasina or pushed for Sheikh Hasina's removal too.
See, Pooja, what we've been witnessing in Bangladesh in past 7-8 months after Sheikh Hasina had to flee to save her life, there is turmoil, there is chaos, there is violence that's taking place almost every week. And this particular violence that has taken place today is outside Cox's Bazar's Air Force Station base. And the investigation, why this happened, how it happened, was this a planned attack on the Air Force base, or there was some other reason? This investigation is going on. But the truth is, the fact remains that there is lawlessness that is quite evident in Bangladesh. And this is one such example that we are seeing in Bangladesh that's happening.
Shivani, you can see that this is not from a distance that possibly the forces have had to fire. The personnel are literally at point-blank range. It looks like they've opened fire. This is hand to hand. This is too close. Can you tell us more if the situation is worrisome right now as well? Has the Yunus government said anything? Because all they usually have to say is that all is well. Nothing is really concerning right now in Bangladesh. But here in airbase is where the commotion is.
Pooja, the security forces, they have been deployed here outside the Bangladesh Air Force where this mob had entered. They were trying to, in fact, enter. They attacked this base. The situation was getting out of hand, and then the forces had to open fire, in which one trader, who happens to be a 30-year-old trader, local trader, he was dead after this firing incident. He was taken to hospital. But right now, since, as I was telling you, that this whole incident took place at around 12, the situation situation still remains a little disturbed out there. There are security forces who are taking action, and the Air Force has also given out a response that it's doing what is required to control the situation, to secure the Air Force base.
This
They are
is,
not.
remember, by any standard, not just a certain protest. When you enter into an airbase of any country, any nation, this is concerning. Why would a mob suddenly start to attack? We are still trying to get clarity. It's a developing story. Indrajit, there is nothing political, so to say, when there's no Awami League here. There are no ISKCON members here. This is about the sanctity, security of their own nation. What are you hearing? What exactly happened?
Well, Pooja, very disturbing visuals
Yes.
as we beam them live coming in from Cox's Bazar. Cox's Bazar is very, very important strategically as well. That's where, there is, humongous, a crisis that was unfolding several years back when Rohingya refugees were given shelter at Cox's Bazar. And it's strategically very important. And that's where an air base is also located, the Bangladesh Air Force's air base. What we are given to understand is, as earlier in the morning, there was some dispute over, some land dispute nearby the airbase in which some security personnel got embroiled with the locals that resulted in clashes. Now, while the ISPR in Bangladesh has put out a statement saying that the airbase has come under attack by miscreants, what we are picking up from our local sources is that basically there was a clash, a dispute that resulted in a clash between locals and the security personnel at the airbase, and the security personnel then had to fire at the locals to bring situation under control because there were heavy stone pelting as well, in which we are given to understand that one person has died. The death toll may go up. Around a dozen people have been injured and they have been taken to hospital is what we are being told by our local sources. Now, this is concerning because over the past several weeks now, there has been a huge concern, and also concerns have been raised by locals across the country as well over law and order situation in Bangladesh, not just in Cox's Bazar, but even in capital Dhaka, in posh areas in Dhaka. Machete-wielding men have been caught on camera, visuals of which are viral on social media. There have been attacks on residents in Dhaka. There have been loots. There have been theft. And now this, an airbase, security personnel coming under attack within that vicinity of the airbase from locals. So clearly a lot of question marks on the law and order situation in Bangladesh right now as it prevails.
Remember,
under
this
the
does not have political
regime.
connotations. This is about national security. If security forces and locals have started to get into confrontation and clashes, and on such a secure area otherwise, what exactly is the government strategy to keep things in check? Thank you very much, Indrajit, for giving a background and perspective about the area and what possibly happened. Shivani Sharma also tracking all the latest on that. There's been an attack, a confrontation and a clash in the vicinity of the airbase in Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh. Developing story, we'll be tracking more details on that.